You've watched 50 videos on making money online, and you're still at $0. Not because you're lazy, not because it's too hard, but because every video you watch is quietly keeping you stuck. The truth? The more you watch, the less you earn, and almost nobody realizes why. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will completely change how you approach making money online. And if you want raw, unfiltered strategies and even crazier money insights, join our Telegram channel, link in the description. That's where we share what most people are too afraid to say publicly. Let me tell you something that's going to sound a little harsh at first. Watching make money online videos is one of the most expensive habits you can have. Not because it costs money, because it costs time. And time is the only asset you can't earn back. Think about it. If you spent just 2 hours a day watching these videos, that's 60 hours a month. That's 720 hours a year. That's the equivalent of 18 full-time work weeks, gone. And what do you have to show for it? Ideas, motivation, maybe a few notes in your phone, but no income, no system, no results. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. The problem isn't that the videos are fake. Some of them are actually useful. The problem is what they do to your brain. Every time you watch a new video, you get a small hit of dopamine. It feels like progress. It feels like you're learning, like you're getting closer. But you're not. You're just resetting the game over and over again. It's like going to the gym, watching workout tutorials for 2 hours, and then leaving without lifting a single weight. Do that every day for a year, and tell me what changes. Nothing. Except now you know 50 different ways to work out, and you're still out of shape. That's exactly what's happening with online income. You know about dropshipping. You've heard of affiliate marketing. Maybe you've looked into crypto. You've seen people talk about AI tools, freelancing, digital products. You know everything. And yet, you're still at zero. Because knowledge without execution is just entertainment. And the internet is really, really good at entertaining you. There's a reason these videos are addictive. Creators are competing for your attention. So they make things sound easier, faster, more exciting. Make $10,000 in 30 days. Passive income with zero effort. Copy this exact strategy. It's not that they're lying. It's that they're simplifying reality to the point where it becomes dangerous because you start expecting fast results. And when they don't come, you switch to the next method, and the next, and the next. You never stay long enough in one lane to actually win. I knew a guy, let's call him Alex. Smart guy, not lazy, actually really motivated. In 1 year, he tried dropshipping, Amazon FBA, crypto trading, freelancing, and even started a YouTube channel. Guess how much he made? Zero. Not because none of those work. All of them work. The problem was he never stayed with anything long enough to get through the boring part, the part where nothing happens, the part where you feel like it's not working. That's the phase where most people quit. And ironically, that's exactly where results start for the few who don't. Because here's the truth nobody tells you. Making money online is not about finding the best method. It's about surviving long enough in one method to make it work. That's it. There is no secret strategy, no hidden hack, no magic tool, just consistency in one direction. But consistency is boring. And boring doesn't get views. So instead, you get flooded with new ideas every day. And your brain starts thinking, maybe this is the one. Maybe I should try this instead. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. And just like that, you reset again. Back to zero, over and over. And the craziest part? It feels productive. You feel busy. You feel like you're trying. But in reality, you're just consuming, not creating, not building, just watching. And here's the shift that changes everything. Stop asking, what's the best way to make money online? Start asking, what am I willing to do every single day for the next 6 months? Even if it doesn't work immediately? That question eliminates 90% of options instantly. Because most people are only interested in things that show quick results. But quick results are usually unstable. Real money comes from systems, and systems take time. Let's make this practical. Imagine you decide to do freelancing. Not because it's trendy, not because someone made a viral video about it, but because you decide, for the next 6 months, I will learn one skill and sell it. That's it. No switching, no distractions, just one direction. First month, you make nothing. Second month, maybe $50. Third month, $200. Most people quit here because it doesn't feel worth it. But if you keep going, month 6 might be $1,000, month 9 could be $3,000, and suddenly everything changes. But you never get there if you keep restarting. This is why watching too many videos is dangerous. It destroys your ability to commit. It trains your brain to chase novelty instead of results. And once that habit is built, it's very hard to break. So here's what you do instead. For the next 30 days, you're not allowed to watch any make money online content. None. Zero. Instead, you pick one path, just one, and you execute every day, even when it's boring, even when it feels pointless. Because that's the phase where almost everyone else gives up. And that's exactly why it works. Think about that. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because once you actually stop consuming and start doing, something uncomfortable happens almost immediately. Silence. No excitement, no dopamine, no feeling of progress. Just you, staring at a screen, trying to figure things out. And most people can't handle that phase. Not because it's hard, but because it's unclear. When you watch videos, everything feels structured. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3. It feels safe. But the moment you try to actually do something, reality hits you with uncertainty. You don't know if you're doing it right. You don't know if it will work. You don't even know if you're wasting your time. And your brain hates that. So, what does it do? It tries to escape. It tells you, maybe I need to learn more first. Maybe I should watch one more video. Maybe there's a better method. And just like that, you're back where you started. This is the exact moment where most people lose, not at failure, at confusion. Because confusion feels like a problem, but it's actually a sign you're finally doing something real. Let me give you an example. Imagine you decide to start making money with content. Doesn't matter if it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. First few days feel exciting. You have ideas. You're motivated. You post something. Maybe you even get a few views. Then day 5 hits. Suddenly your ideas don't feel as good. Your content doesn't perform. You start comparing yourself to people who've been doing it for years. And your brain goes, this isn't working. But here's what's actually happening. You've just entered the invisible phase. This is the phase where your effort doesn't match your results, where you're putting in work, but nothing is coming back yet. And this phase is unavoidable. Every single person who makes money online has gone through it. The difference is, most people leave during this phase. The few who stay, they win by default. Because there's less competition on the other side. Let's break this down in a way nobody really explains. When you start anything online, you're not just learning a skill, you're building a system. And systems don't reward you immediately. They compound, meaning the first 30 days might feel useless. But the next 30 build on that, and the next 30 multiply it. It's like pushing a heavy car. At first, it barely moves. It feels pointless. But once it starts rolling, it gets easier. The problem is, most people quit before the car even moves. They never experience momentum, so they assume it doesn't work, and then they jump to something else, and repeat the same cycle. I've seen this with crypto too. Someone watches a few videos, opens an account, makes a couple trades, maybe even gets lucky once. Then they lose money. And instead of learning the game, they panic. They think crypto is a scam. No, you just entered the learning phase and expected profits. That's like going to the gym for 2 weeks and expecting abs. The math doesn't work like that. Real skill takes time. And more importantly, it takes repetition. You need enough reps to start seeing patterns. In freelancing, it's understanding what clients actually want. In content, it's understanding what people watch. In crypto, it's understanding market behavior. But you only get that clarity by staying in the game long enough, not by jumping around. And here's something that might change how you see everything. The goal at the beginning is not to make money. It's to survive long enough to get good. That's it. Because once you're good, money becomes a byproduct. But most people flip it. They chase money first, and when it doesn't come quickly, they quit. Which means they never reach the stage where money becomes easy. It's backwards. Always has been. Think about someone learning to code. For the first few months, they're not making money. They're learning, struggling, Googling errors. But if they stick with it, at some point they become valuable. And once they're valuable, they can charge for it. The same logic applies to everything online. Value first, money second. But value requires patience. And patience is exactly what the internet destroys, because you're constantly exposed to people showing results, not the process. You see someone making $10,000 a month. You don't see the 12 months where they made nothing. You see the highlight, not the timeline, and that creates unrealistic expectations. You start thinking you're behind, that you're doing something wrong, but you're not. You're just early. Let me tell you about another guy. Let's call him Mark. He decided to learn video editing, not because it was exciting, not because it was trending, but because he knew content creators needed it. First 2 months? Nothing. He was terrible. Third month, he got his first client. $100. It took him 10 hours. That's $10 an hour. Most people would quit right there, but he didn't. He kept going. By month 6, he was charging $500 per project. By month 12, he had consistent clients making $4,000 a month. Same skill, same person. The only difference? Time and repetition. Now, imagine if he quit at month 2 because it wasn't working. He would have gone back to watching videos, looking for the next idea. This is the cycle you need to break. Not the lack of opportunity, not the lack of information, the lack of consistency. Because consistency is what turns effort into results. And here's a simple way to think about it. Every day you execute, you're stacking bricks, one by one. It doesn't look impressive at first, but over time, those bricks become something real, something stable, something that actually pays you. Meanwhile, every day you just watch, you're resetting the stack. You're not building anything. You're just collecting blueprints. And blueprints don't make money. Execution does. So if you feel stuck right now, it's not because you don't know enough. It's because you haven't committed long enough. And that's actually good news, because it means the solution is simple. Not easy, but simple. Pick one thing, stay with it, ignore everything else, and most importantly, get comfortable being bad at it for a while, because that's the price of getting good. And nobody escapes that price. Not me, not you. Not anyone you see online making money right now. They all paid it. The only question is, are you willing to? And this is the part nobody prepares you for. The moment when you've been consistent long enough to expect something back, and still nothing happens. This is where things get dangerous. Not because you're failing, but because it feels like you are. You've been putting in effort for weeks, maybe even months. You've followed through. You didn't quit early this time. And yet, the results are still small, maybe even invisible. And your brain starts negotiating with you again. Maybe this just isn't for me. Maybe I picked the wrong thing. Maybe I'm wasting time. And that voice sounds logical. It sounds reasonable. But it's lying. Because what you're experiencing right now is the gap between effort and reward. And that gap is where almost everyone turns around. Not because they're incapable, but because they misinterpret the signal. They think no results means no progress. But in reality, progress is happening under the surface. You just can't see it yet. Think about learning a language. For the first few weeks, it feels like nothing is sticking. You forget words, you struggle to form sentences, you feel stupid. But then one day, out of nowhere, you understand something without translating it in your head. And it surprises you. That didn't come from that one day. It came from all the invisible reps before it. Online income works the same way. You're building skills, patterns, instincts. You're learning what doesn't work. You're refining your approach. But because there's no immediate payout, your brain doesn't recognize it as progress. And this is where discipline becomes more important than motivation, because motivation is based on results, and results are delayed. Discipline is based on identity. It's based on the decision. This is what I do now. Not, I'll do this if it works. Not, I'll try this for a bit. No. It's, this is my path. And once that shift happens, everything becomes simpler. Not easier, but clearer. You stop negotiating with yourself every day. You stop asking, should I continue? You already decided. And that removes a huge amount of mental friction. Because one of the biggest reasons people fail isn't lack of effort. It's decision fatigue. Every day they're reconsidering everything. What method to use, what video to follow, what strategy to try. And all that thinking drains energy that could have been used for execution. Imagine waking up every day and deciding from scratch whether you should go to work. Sounds exhausting, right? That's exactly what most people are doing with online income. They haven't committed. So every day feels like starting over. But the people who succeed, they removed that choice. They don't ask if they feel like doing it, they just do it. Same way you brush your teeth, same way you check your phone, it becomes automatic. And once something becomes automatic, it compounds. Let me give you a very real example. There was a girl I know who started posting short-form videos. Nothing crazy, just simple, consistent content. First 20 videos? Almost no views. 30, 40 views maybe. Most people would stop right there because it feels pointless. But she didn't. She kept posting. Same style, same niche. Around video 50, one of them hit 10,000 views. Not viral, but noticeable. Then back to low views again. And this is where people get confused because they expect linear growth. They think if one video does well, the next one should too. But that's not how it works. Growth online is uneven. It's messy. It spikes. It drops. It tests your patience. But if you stay consistent, those spikes start happening more often. And eventually, they stack. By video 100, she had multiple videos crossing 50,000 views. By video 150, she started getting inbound messages, people asking for help. That turned into her first $500, then $1,000. Now she's making more than most full-time jobs. But here's the key part. If she stopped at video 20, nothing would have happened. If she stopped at video 50, still nothing significant. The results only showed up after the boring phase, after the invisible work. And that's the pattern you need to understand. Because it applies everywhere. Freelancing, content, crypto, business, anything. There's always a delayed reward curve. And the people who win are the ones who outlast it. Not the smartest, not the most talented, just the most consistent. Now let's talk about something most people completely ignore. Environment. Because you can have the right strategy, the right mindset. But if your environment is constantly pulling you back into consumption, you're going to struggle. If your entire feed is full of new methods, easy money, latest hacks, you're going to keep doubting your path. You're going to keep second-guessing. Because every day you're being reminded that there's something else you could be doing. And that destroys focus. So one of the smartest things you can do is control your inputs. Unfollow accounts that constantly push new ideas. Stop watching random money videos. Clean your feed. Make your environment boring. Because boring is where execution thrives. Excitement is where distraction lives. This might sound extreme, but try this. For 1 week, remove all make money online content from your life. No YouTube, no TikTok, no Twitter threads, nothing. And just focus on doing. You'll notice something interesting. Your mind becomes quieter. You stop comparing. You stop overthinking. You start actually working. And that's where progress begins. Because clarity doesn't come from consuming more. It comes from doing more, from testing, from failing, from adjusting. That's how you figure things out. Not by watching someone else explain it. And here's something that might surprise you. Most people who are actually making money online don't spend their time watching make money online content. They're too busy building, too busy executing, too busy improving their systems. They're not looking for new ideas every day. They're refining one idea over time. That's the difference. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. You realize that the people constantly consuming are usually the ones not earning, and the people earning are the ones not consuming. It's almost opposite worlds. So if you want to switch sides, you have to change your behavior. Less watching, more doing, less thinking, more executing, less switching, more staying. It sounds simple, and it is, but it's not easy. Because you're going against your own habits, against your own brain, against an entire system designed to keep you consuming. But that's exactly why it works. Because most people won't do it, and that's your advantage. And if you've made it this far, there's one more shift you need to make. And it's probably the most important one. You need to stop seeing online income as something you try, and start seeing it as something you build. Because trying has an exit. Trying means you're giving yourself a way out. I'll try this for a bit. I'll see if it works. That mindset sounds harmless, but it's actually the reason most people stay stuck. Because the moment things get uncomfortable, they leave. Builders don't think like that. Builders assume it's going to take time. Builders expect frustration. Builders plan for the boring phase. And because of that, They don't panic when it shows up. They keep going. That's the difference. Not intelligence, not luck, just expectation. Let me show you how this plays out in real life. Imagine two people starting the exact same thing. Same day, same method, same resources. The first one is trying. The second one is building. After 2 weeks, both of them see no results. The first person starts questioning everything. Maybe this doesn't work. Maybe I need something else. They open YouTube, watch a few new videos, get excited about a different method, and switch back to zero. The second person? They expected this. So they don't react emotionally. They look at what they've done, adjust a few things, and continue. After 2 months, still small results. Maybe a little progress, but nothing crazy. The first person has now tried 3 different things, still no income. The second person is still on the same path, getting slightly better, understanding more. After 6 months, the gap becomes obvious. The first person is still searching. The second person is earning. Same starting point, completely different outcome. And it all comes down to one decision made at the beginning. Am I trying or am I building? Because building requires patience, and patience is uncomfortable. It means delaying gratification. It means working without immediate reward. It means trusting a process you can't fully see yet. And that's hard, especially in a world where everything is instant. But here's the upside nobody talks about. Once you build something that works, it becomes unfair, because now you have leverage. Now your effort multiplies. Instead of trading time for money, you start getting returns on systems. A video you made weeks ago brings you clients. A skill you practiced months ago starts paying you faster. A network you slowly built starts opening doors. And suddenly, what used to feel slow starts accelerating. But you only reach that point if you stay long enough. That's the price. Always has been. Now let's make this even more real. Think about how most people approach their jobs. They don't expect to get promoted in 2 weeks. They don't expect to double their salary in a month. They understand it takes time, so they show up every day without questioning it. But when it comes to online income, they expect miracles. They expect fast results. And when they don't get them, they quit. Why? Because they don't respect the process the same way. They treat it like a shortcut, not a skill. And that mindset alone kills most attempts before they even begin. So here's a better way to think about it. Treat your online income like a job, except you're the one building the system. You're not getting paid yet, but you're investing in something that will pay you later. And the more consistent you are, the faster that happens. It's delayed, not denied. Big difference. Let me give you one more example that might stick with you. Imagine you plant a tree. First few weeks, nothing. Just dirt. You water it every day. Still nothing. If you're impatient, you might think it's not working. You might stop. But under the surface, roots are growing. You just can't see them yet. Then one day, a small sprout appears. And from that point on, growth becomes visible. But that visible growth only happened because of the invisible work before it. Online income is the same. You're planting something, and most people stop watering before anything shows up, so they never experience the growth phase. They just keep replanting seeds in different places, wondering why nothing grows. Don't be that person. Pick your spot. Stay there. Water it daily, even when it looks like nothing is happening, because something is. You just can't see it yet. And here's the final piece that ties everything together. The goal isn't to make money fast. The goal is to become the kind of person who can make money consistently. Because once you become that person, you can't unlearn it. You can lose money and make it back. You can switch methods and still win. You can adapt, because the skill stays with you. But if you keep chasing shortcuts, you never build that skill. You stay dependent on the next idea, the next trend, the next video. And that's a very fragile position to be in. So if there's one thing I want you to take from this, it's this. Stop looking for the perfect method. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop consuming endless content hoping something will click. It won't. Clarity comes from action. Confidence comes from repetition. Results come from consistency, always. So pick something, commit to it, and give it enough time to actually work. Not a week, not a month, real time. Because the people who are making money online right now aren't smarter than you. They didn't find a secret you don't know. They just stayed when everyone else left. And that's it. That's the whole game.